Greetings, you filthy heretics. On today's glorious Vox vid, I shall be painting one of my Black Templar Bladeguard veterans. These days, I don't often get the opportunity to sit down and paint my minis, and due to a poor quality camera up till now, it wasn't a very viable source of content on the channel. Thankfully, however, I have acquired a better one and can now do more of these videos in the future. So be on the lookout for those, and of course be on the lookout for the continuing series on the channel as the Homebrew Highlights series, the 40k in a nutshell, and the now new Vox radio show. Hopefully, we're going to see more and more of these evolving as the channel grows. But anyway, let's continue. To paint my Bladeguard veteran, I used Corvus Black, Ushabti Bone, Lead Belcher, and Retributor armor from Citadel. I also used Ultra Smurf Blue, Beastie Brown, Black, and Dead White from Vallejo. For washes, I used Agrax Earthshade. Oh, and I almost forgot, I also used Vallejo's Bloody Red for the veteran's eyes and for the purity seals. I started off the veteran with a full base coverage of Corvus Black. The reason I'm using Corvus over Vallejo Black or Abaddon Black is to preserve the details underneath the paint better. After all, Corvus Black is a gray-black paint as opposed to a pure black paint like the former examples. A good adage to go by is, if you want something colored black, don't paint black, because unfortunately a more pure black will obscure the details. I hope I'm making sense. Once the Corvus was applied, I moved on to applying the parchment color mix of 2 parts Ushabti Bone and 1 part Vallejo Dead White. Once I had applied this to the pauldrons and other miscellaneous areas, in multiple thin coats mind you, I was ready for the most important identifying mark upon an Astartes, the chapter insignia. For the Templars, this is of course the Black Cross. I have to hand paint these as I do not own any decals, or as the Brits say, transfers for the Templars. I don't mind though. For me it's fun to do it by hand, and it adds a lot more personal touch to the miniature, making it feel more like my own work. Once the cross was completed, I moved on to the scripture scribbles on the purity seals. I mixed Vallejo's Bloody Red with a light dab of Vallejo Black, and used that to create the purity seal's red wax color, and then of course I applied that to the miniature. I then applied the Lead Belcher to the necessary bits, and a Beastie Brown and light black mix to the belt, satchel, and holster. Once the leather was done, I painted the skulls upon the shield with Ushabti Bone, and though I couldn't get it on camera due to the camera's battery dying, I also ended up applying the Retributor Gold onto the shield trim, an assortment of other areas, and I also edge highlighted the Marine with a Corvus Black mixed with a dab of Vallejo's Bone White. I got that all off camera, I'm sorry, should have noticed the camera stopped recording. After a brief camera charging break, I was ready to paint the power sword. This is where I took the Ultra Blue, watered it down, and applied it to the blade, and before it could dry, I applied an Ultra Blue and White mix to create a wavy effect on the blade. I then waited for that to dry somewhat, so that I could begin painting the electrical effects upon the sword with a dead white. Now, I don't claim that these effects are good by any means, they are just the effects I like to do with my power swords. Finally, I ended off the painting process by applying the Agrax Earthshade carefully to the edge of the parchment colored areas and metallics, and finally the skulls upon the shield. And with that, I had finished painting my Templar Bladeguard veteran. Say that 5 times fast. It was a lot of fun and a relaxing time as always, but what did you all think? Did you enjoy the video? If so, I'd greatly appreciate it if you were to subscribe and leave a like. Thanks for watching everyone, and have a great day. Bye-bye!